And a most gracious good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Coloradoland. A couple of things before we dive in to this big retro slideshow extravaganza, exploring the Rocky Mountain high state of Colorado like it's a great big theme park. A couple things I just want to say. First of all, if you are a first-time viewer, thank you for joining me. If you are one of the many viewers that watch every show that I do, thank you so much, because it is your continued support that allows me to continue to do what I love to do, which is celebrate classic and kitschy American life and style. And of course, as we all know, Coloradoland is, well, quite the place. I've been there many times. I've had the privilege and pleasure of exploring many places and spaces, and I found a lot of special things. That combined with my big retro slide collection that I've been collecting for, 31 years now. I dug deep into the archive, and this is what I pulled up between the pictures that I took there and the stuff in my archive. So before we get going, there's one other thing. Oh dear. Yeah, well, life is full of surprises. Most of them are wonderful, but we might as well just get it out in the open. If you hear a lot of like bam, 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 bump, 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 they are building a house next door, and they decided to work on it right now, of course, when it's time to film Coloradoland. So with that said, here we go. We're going to Coloradoland. How much do we love it when someone pulls their 1959 Chevrolet off on the side of the road to get out of the car in their matching ensemble and to strike a pose with the, I love, welcome to Colorado, colorful Colorado. Who was the graphic designer on this sign? I have no idea. I wish I knew so we could thank that person, because don't you love it when the welcome goes like this, and the colorful goes like that, and the Colorado goes like this? I know. Where do we begin to behold the glory? And by the way, it's Yuma County, so we are traveling in from Nebraska. From the other side of the state, we reach downtown Denver. Yes, on the highway of life, the super highway of life. And by the way, I don't know about you, but to me, whenever I go on the freeway, to me, I always it's like Autopia. It is Autopia. I practice learning to drive on the freeway at Autopia at Disney World. And so freeway, Autopia is one and the same to me. Anyway, you can see the billboard for King Super there. That's the big supermarket chain there. And as we drive into town, we see a very charming skyline of a few tall buildings. And they are ready for their close-up. On the left, that kind of pinky thing, a Texas oil millionaire built that as an office building. In the middle, Conoco in the red triangle. Right down from that, the big YMCA. It's fun to stay at the... I know. Anyway, YMCA. It's fun to stay at the... Who doesn't love that song? I mean, where do we begin? I know. Anyway, I wasn't expecting to bust into it, but you never know what's going to happen here. And right down from that is a Goodyear tire store. And what I really want to show you, though, is over on the far right. Not the big white tile roof, not the parking lot on the roof just above that, but the Farmers Union Bank building. And what is so special about the Farmers Union Bank building is, besides the word Farmers Union spelled out there in your favorite lesbian aunt's handwriting, is the Space Needle wannabe icon light tower up there. I tried to research this. I could not find anything on it. Apparently, I'm not that good of a researcher, because there's got to be something out there, and I want to find out about it. It is definitely not there anymore, and no pictures of it at night either. But we're not talking about that building anymore. We are talking about the building in the middle there with the big box on top. Yes, that is Boxy Mod mid-century modernity. Absolute post and beam to its basic most extreme. And here it is now as the backdrop of this pencil drawing of the future of downtown Denver in probably, I'm going to guess about mid-60s. A lot of towns, even earlier, and even some later, were predicting they were going to put in monorail systems. So anyway, I don't know about you, but I love a monorail. I seek them out. There are very few and far between. Of course, growing up, going to Disneyland and everything, the monorail was a very big deal. But this one's very glassy, isn't it? Don't you love that ribbed bottom paneling? And not one, not two, but three, no, four porthole windows there. I know. And then down, oh, there's a tanker that says Conoco. We just saw the Conoco building. And on the back of that kind of station wagon-y vehicle there, I guess it's supposed to be the future. I love the other car too, a little coupe. Very chic, isn't it? Anyway, on the back of that little station wagon, it says airport. Here's the airport right here. Yes, it is Stapleton Field, ladies and gentlemen. And I will tell you that I do know for a fact this building was built in the year of 1954. Yes, it was part of the big grand remodel of Stapleton Field, complete with 4 rows of neon up top of the clock tower, which is illuminated at night along that strip was also illuminated, the strip down of glass, the control tower on one side, very boxy mod, mid-century modernity in the middle, and for your pleasure and mine, we might as well get it out in the open, a car show in the parking lot. From the left, it is the all-new for 1961 Bel Air by Chevrolet. We've got a 1950, I think it's a Dodge. Yeah, I should know. And a 59 Ford in jet black and that formal roofline on it, I know, with that gold piece of trim right there on the C pillar. And of course, the mint green and creamy white, yellowy creamy white 1956 Plymouth. Yeah, another Plymouth. Anyway, we're not going to the airport. We're going to the train station. Here it was. It looks like it's 5 to 8 in the morning. It's in the 50s. You can tell by the cars. Must be about 55. The newest car there is the 55 Chevrolet in coral in gray there. The train station was built in the year of 1913. I love that it says travel by train in neon. I am proud and happy to tell you this Union Station has been restored to divine perfection and is a go-to experience in Denver if you are there, even if you're not going on the train. By the way, you can ride this, obviously it takes you right downtown, but you can ride it all the way out to the new airport, which is way out there. Anyway, they built a Walmart on the old airport, but we're not talking about that anymore. No, we're not. We're just talking about, the Union Station in Denver. Thankfully, they saved this vintage neon sign that dates back to 1950 when they rehabbed the old Union Station there, and it is on display. And I don't know about you, but I happen to love the words Union and Station, restaurant, all written out in script, the choo-choo train, you know that smoke is animated, of course, and Continental Room and Caboose Lounge. Just to say the words Continental, just to say the word Caboose. I know, where do we begin to behold the glory? You want to go shopping? I know you do. Yes, it is. Built in 1957. This is May D&F, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, one of the big department stores, if not the big department store in downtown Denver for decades, starting in like 1877 or whatever. In 1957, they built this. A very boxy mod building and a pavilion out at the corner. I don't know what was in the pavilion. I'd like to find out. But wherever else have you seen a mid-century pavilion like this other than like a World's Fair? I know. So quite spectacular by any department store standards of the 1950s. You see this, and I love the those yellow and white striped, they're just like banners hanging down there. Over there, the people standing on the corner, and these ladies right here. Yes, they are there. You see the roof line, I know. And they are giving us a how to wear your purse fashion show. Lady on the left, 2 hands. The next lady, 1 hand. The other lady, 2 handles over the forearm, and the one on the far right tucks hers under her arm. Yes, that is a clutch bag. It has no handles. Yes, that is called a clutch. Also there on site, what you couldn't see was, from that other shot, was they have an ice skating rink there too. How convenient, because how much do we all love to twist an ankle? I know. I actually have ice skated several times, and I can do it, believe it or not. Believe it or not. It's because I learned how to roller skate as a child. But I will tell you, the last time I ice skated, I was the only one on the rink, and did that make it so much easier. Because you didn't have to worry about like a 4-year-old coming and like crashing into you or whatever, whatever. But anyway, here we are, a family out Must be holiday time, not sure, but at least it's winter time. We can tell by the winter coats. Yes, Missy wears a coat of royal blue woolen. Very lovely. Junior wears a longer length than normal. Looks like a cotton duck, perhaps treated for water repellent, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, with a patch pocket zip front. And then there's Mother, complete with white gloves. Her look is amazing. I mean, that is the perfect jet black coat for winter in a thick woolen, probably of Melton wool. Yes, and around that neck of hers, some fur trim. They're probably on their way out to dinner here to the best steak in town. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Bastion Steakhouse, restaurant, cocktails, and steaks. Vote for us for best steakhouse in Denver. I have been there. Specialty of the house is, believe it or not, this sounds a little strange, but it is delicious. It's called the Sugar Steak. Yes, the Sugar Steak. I've never been anywhere else where they serve a sugar steak, but they serve it there. And it is an icon, a landmark in this town. And I don't know about you, but I do love any time when there's a word being spelled out in script back in the day. And by the way, this sign is still standing there right now, this minute. You can go there. And they have been there since 1937, I believe. Anyway, I love the backhand on one letter. The T goes renegade and goes backhand. Also, you guys, we have to talk about the fact, of course, do you see what I see? There is a steak on the menu. In case you cannot read that word, fine, no problem. You can see exactly what they're talking about. I love a sign with a steak painted on it, don't you? I know. Inside the restaurant, which actually looks pretty much like this, is a 1950s painting. I love any restaurant that is also an art gallery. I love any restaurant that has a painting of A, itself, or B, the owner. Anyway, in this case, it's a picture of the accordion folded roof of the building. It is kind of a round building. Well, it's not exactly round. It's more like an octagon. Anyway, and I just love this painting. What can I tell you? And when you go in the door there, don't you? I know. When you go in the door there, you are going to see this on your left. And I remember these as a child, the Ford gumball machines, the Ford gumball globe. Ford is rare to see this now. I will tell you that they started 115 years ago. They are still in business. I do hereby declare it is the same family, the Ford family, not that Ford family, another Ford family. But anyway, they introduced the globe in the year of 1954. Oh, you wanted something a little older. Fine, be that way. How about the Buckhorn Exchange, ladies and gentlemen? It is one of the oldest restaurants in the United States, and certainly the oldest restaurant in all of Denverland. 1883 is when it opened. Okay, better calm down. Everything's fine. I better calm down because, well, you know, some places are just difficult to photograph, and I don't know why, when I was there, I took pictures of it, but they all came out a little dark. So I also took a picture of the postcard, and this is exactly what it looks like. Right now, if you went there, this is it. And you are only seeing a very small portion of the taxidermy. So, yeah, by the way, I just want you to know, you're only seeing a small selection. There's tons of it there. I mean, it's like creepy, yes. Amazing, yes. It's like a living museum of its own self. I mean, that taxidermy has all been hanging in there probably for over 70 years. I mean, I think we can say nothing has gone up in 70 years. I mean, maybe a couple things, but the antelope wall, you guys, I mean, it's a lot of antelope going up there. By the way, when was the last time you saw antelope spelled out in neon, let alone yellow neon? Isn't that gorgeous? I know. Anyway, so, there's a baby neon, a baby antelope there right by the A of antelope. I know. All right, I know. And anyway, I don't know about you, but I love toucans. I'm not sure I want to see them stuffed in a cabinet, but if I do, at least I know where to go. Toucans are my favorite birds, besides flamingos, of course, and owls. But anyway, it is quite the experience. Oh, you wanted the classic diner experience in Denver. That's fine. How about that big, giant cowboy chuck wagon cook of a guy, Davey's Chuck Wagon Diner, serving it up in style, classic, on the main boulevard, Colfax, since the year of 1957. And this is, according to the legend, this is definitely one of the old prefab diners. And according to the legend, there are none further west than this one. So it is the real genuine article. It has been there since 1957. And it is my favorite place to go and order a Denver omelet. I'm always trying to cut down. So how about tomatoes instead of potatoes? How about the fact that a Denver omelet, you guys, Denver has its own omelet. I love local foods, and in Denver, I don't know if they know it or not, but we might as well tell them your omelet is the local. Okay, what is a Denver omelet exactly? Very simple. It is always the same everywhere you go. A Denver omelet must have these 3 ingredients and these 3 ingredients only besides eggs. So it is chopped ham, chopped onion, and chopped green bell pepper. That is a Denver omelet. Of course, the flavor combination, the texture profile, flavor profile, the tongue feel, it's delicious, of course. I mean, I'm not sure I even had a Denver omelet that day because usually never mind. Trying to not eat ham. I know. I love ham though, but I secretly love it. But anyway, also I want you to know, you guys, how difficult, you can see here how difficult it is to spell the word Denver out from ketchup coming from a squeeze bottle. I thought it was going to be so easy and just go like when they decorate the cake and write happy birthday mother or whatever on it at the store, but no. Anyway, so also, of course, wherever I go, I have to order pancakes. I say put a face on it. In this case, I got a kind of out of this world Martian kind of pig rat face Mickey Mouse combination. Anyway, I know. What are you going to do? It's always interesting to see what they give you. Sometimes it's elaborate and sometimes it's divine simplicity like this. But it's always looking right at you. I know. Speaking of looking right at you, I could not believe when I ran across this slide. Yes, it's a little overcast. Yes, it's a little dark. But I don't care. I'm showing it to you anyway. It is Celebrity Lanes in Denver. It was built there in 1964, and it was a giant recreation center. Among the investors were Walt Disney and Bing Crosby, and there were other celebrities, and I guess that's why they called it Celebrity Lanes. But anyway, first of all, the sign in cream, orange, and yellow going like this. I love that. Also, the starbursts. Where do we begin? Uh-oh, I'm falling off my chair. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Everybody okay? And yes, that is, so anyway, but okay, they tore it down in 1994. But anyway, people in Denver still talk about Celebrity Lanes, and photos of it are rare, especially in color. So you can get the idea that it's a Googie style. Of course, that signage is pure and total Googie. And then let's not forget across the street, we have the Uncle John's Pancake House. That was a big chain. I don't think there are any left. But I remember going there as a child. And where do we begin to behold the glory of the all-new for 1960 Fury 4-door sedan in a beautiful shade of a banana pudding yellow with a whipped cream top. Isn't that gorgeous? I know. And I can guarantee you the inside of that car, the color of it is kind of like graham cracker crust color. Gorgeous combination of the banana cream as a car. Yes, it is. Oh, you wanted Pete's Kitchen for pancakes, specialty of the house since the year of 1942. Yes, on the main boulevard there in Denver, you've got this guy, and every night he is juggling those, flipping pancakes. I love the expression on his face. I love his body language. He's so centered in his work. I mean, just, you can see the way his feet are grounded. I mean, just the way he's drawn, just the way the neon is bent and everything. This is one happy Pete. And I love it's Pete's Kitchen. I love the way they push Pete together and then they push Kitchen out. Oh, I know. I love a gorgeous vintage neon sign. I know you do too. Right next door, you have the Satire Lounge. Yes, that arrow winking and blinking, chasing lights, snaking around the SATIRE. Then finally, you get to the bottom and it says in a very sophisticated handwritten blue neon, turquoise neon lounge, mixed drinks. Oh, I know. And yes, it is ready for its close-up. There it is right there. I mean, in the scheme of the vintage neon sign world, I can tell you that these little cocktail glasses are getting rarer by the decade. They once decorated many a downtown, maybe a couple times over, restaurant neon signs that were tacked on there or whatever, and they are special, and this one's special, and it is still there. And yes, it is an exquisite work of art. Look at that blue. Look at that yellow ground. Look at those light bulbs. Look at that shine on the cherry. And the stir stick in yellow. Oh, and I didn't even notice until right now the red stem on the glass. Oh, the world is a wonderland. And speaking of a wonderland to discover, this is the cruise room at the Oxford Hotel in Denver, built in the year of 1933. According to the legend, it opened one day after Prohibition. So, ended in 1933. I wish I could show you the Art Deco murals and everything, but you're getting a sample of it. All indirect lighting there, all pink lighting. When you walk in the door there, I mean, you are walking into really, to me, the most spectacular Art Deco environment I've ever been in. I mean, and the pink lighting is the crowning touch. Everyone in there is glowing, and you're glowing, and of course, the cocktails are flowing. Yes, that rhymes. Anyway, I was also going to tell you, so what I heard when I first discovered this place about, 15 years ago on a trip to Denver was they said it was this bar, the cruise room, supposed to be like a cruise ship. I know. Anyway, it was sealed up for several decades, and then they were restoring the hotel, because downtown had kind of, done one of those, but, no more. But anyway, and they didn't even realize it was there. That's the legend, but I'm not sure that's true. But anyway, it is spectacular. The cruise room. Oh, fine. You wanted to go to a drive-in restaurant? I did too, because I love a drive-in where you can either eat in your car or eat in the dining room. JB's Drive-In, serving it up in Greeley, Colorado. Until 2 years ago, it had been there 85 years. I guess, yes, I know, nothing lasts forever. And I grieve every time one of these very special, iconic, legendary local landmarks goes away. Look at the dining room. I walked in there and I said to myself, what did I do to deserve this? This is my kind of place. First of all, fake wood paneling from the 60s, those chandeliers from Country Kitchen, and where do we begin to behold the glory of orange Naugahyde booths and extra points for the big round one in the corner. I mean, they are getting rarer and rarer. If you ever go into a restaurant with a big, round booth in the corner, I mean, please go get people to sit in it with you if you are all by yourself. I'm sorry, it's already getting hot in here. Don't you like my fan, you guys? I thought you would. I know. Anyway, it's kind of noisy though. But anyway, you guys, so here's what I ordered there. Chicken livers. I will tell you, I do love chicken livers. I know it's a weird thing. Most people can't stand them, but I love them, especially when served in a basket on a piece of tissue. And as the crowning touch, a big pile of French fries and some sliced pickles. But what I really love about this photo, you guys, that is shag carpeting on the wall. I mean, can we even talk about that? I'm not even sure we're allowed to. Some things are off limits. But anyway, yeah, you can get a close-up of that gorgeous wood paneling, prettier up close. And the fact that you sit down and you phone your order in, and then they call you when it's ready. They called you when it's ready. Devastated to tell you, as I did. No longer there. We also grieve the loss of this. The White Fence Farm restaurant, chicken, shrimp, and steak restaurant. West Jewel, Lakewood, in just outside of Denver, family-style chicken dinners. Okay, imagine the thrill of me being taken out to dinner in Denver. This is 15-ish years ago, maybe slightly less. But anyway, they didn't tell me there was going to be a giant cluck truck in the parking lot. My head almost exploded because I recognize this. This truck is a leftover from the chicken dinner candy trucks of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Chicken Dinner Candy was a candy bar, and in 1954 they made 9 of these trucks. They were actually on Ford, so this chicken has been lifted off onto an International Harvester truck, which we love those too. But anyway, rare to find one. I have found 2 that still exist. And for dinner, what are we having? But I meant to say, I don't know what happened to that one in Denver, the one you just saw. I don't know where it is now, and I called up my friends in Denver who know stuff, and they're like, we don't know where it went. We don't know. So that's kind of an operation. What happened to the Cluck Truck in Denver from the now defunct White Fence Farm restaurant? Here is what's for dinner at the White Fence, crowned with a little tiny toothpick American flag. How much do we love toothpick American flags? I've got one right here, right now, somewhere. It's here. Anyway, but we're not going to talk about that right now because we're talking about perfectly golden brown chicken, a big pile of mashed potatoes. There's a gravy boat. Gravy used to only be served in boats. That's a gravy boat. We don't say gravy boat anymore. We need to bring gravy boats back. I know. And then there's the salad, which is like sour. Okay, it's actually, I like it. I liked it. I may never have it again because this place is no longer there. Although there is a location in Illinois. They had 2 locations. That one's still going. Kidney beans, chopped cabbage, and it's sour cream, and I bet it has a little mayonnaise in there, but it's not mayonnaise-y in texture, but I think it does, or a little vinegar or something. It's really good. And speaking of vinegar, pickled beets with giant chopped chunks of onion, and all you can eat. It's all you can eat, was all you can eat. Well, still is in Illinois. Those little like donut-y things, like bring 1,000 of them to the table. There's never going to be enough of them because they are delicious. On the way out, in a case, they had these little felt like dolls and figurines and stuff. And okay, you know, of course everyone loves this kind of stuff. So it said made in Germany and the collected in 1958. So I, of course, was riveted. And, you know, I mean, look at the details. We could be here all day. We got a tiger, a bunny rabbit. We got little Missy. I don't know if that little broom is original. It looks like it must be. She's holding on to it. But I like her hat. I like everything. A bride. She's like, uh-huh. And anyway, we could go on and on and on. Speaking of miniatures, this is exactly, well, kind of what White Fence Farm restaurant looked like, but this is not the actual White Fence Farm restaurant building. No, this is Tiny Town outside of Denver, up in the mountains. There's this place called Tiny Town, and we went there, and they're like, oh, look, that's White Fence Farm. I guess the sign fell off or something. But anyway, Tiny Town has been there in the mountains of Denver. They are celebrating their 99th year this year. So here's a picture from the 1920s. I know. Yeah, it's kind of shocking, you guys. Tiny Town, and help save Tiny Town. Have fun, but please do not climb, sit, or hit, or kick buildings. Thank you. Do we have to put up a sign that says don't kick the buildings? Ah! No, preserve something special. Preserve something unique. Tiny Town is completely unique. When we go somewhere, we want to see what's unique about the place. Anyway, if you look in the window, you see this. I just about fell apart in pieces. I thought I had literally died and gone to heaven. A little fake Barbie and Ken square dance party. Look at the collars there and everything. And I guess that's his helper over there. And Colorado flag, American flag. And there is, it looks like everyone's having fun. I love everything about it. I want to go to a square dance party. I remember I've only square danced in 4th grade. We did it for 2 weeks in PE, and I loved it. I acted like I didn't love it. I acted like I didn't love it because it's kind of like, you know, not cool to like square dancing, but I loved it. I really did. And I was pretty good at it too. Anyway, I love right front and center there. She's got the big 1968 hairdo, fake Barbie hairdo. Anyway, speaking of art, you guys, the Kirkland Museum in Denver, we're now switching gears. We are in a fine museum. This is what I call pretty much I don't want to call it a homespun museum, but it kind of is. It started small, and now it has blossomed into something really special. This is Vance Kirkland. He was a painter. And anyway, the museum is named for him. It is a decorative arts museum. There's painting, there's furniture. There is a ball clock there, you guys. And how much do we love a ball clock? The George Nelson ball clock, I believe, was introduced in about 1948. But I will tell you, you know, I've never had one of these. I have wanted one. It just hasn't. The universe has not delivered me one yet, or I have not gone out and bought one yet. I'd really like a vintage one, not one of the new ones. They still make them new. The same company, and there are tons of knockoffs. So you always want a real one. I mean, don't you love it? You could say, well, I guess you can. I was thinking you could say it's orange past avocado green, but you can't really say that because those colors happen a couple times here. But also, besides the wood balls around the edge there, you guys, Starburst Googie style, don't you love the hands? I know. I mean, those hands, and that minute hand is the crowning touch, is like the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae, isn't it? I know. And if you like that, you'll love this. This is indeed the marshmallow sofa, first introduced to the universe in the year of 1956. And yes, it comes in white. You can still order this sofa to this day, the marshmallow sofa. If I got it, it says marshmallow. I mean, I love orange. Orange is borderline my favorite color besides turquoise. But I'd want it in white just because marshmallows, I know. Looks more like biscuits though, doesn't it? Kind of, yeah. The kind like you use a glass to cut out and then bake. Bisquick biscuits. Oh, that sounds good. How about this? You want to watch television? Fine, on your 1970 Videosphere television. Yes, the Kirkland Museum is amazing. I mean, this is way the tip of the iceberg, you guys. These are close-up shots of a few things in there. The Princess Telephone in pink, introduced in the year of says it right there, 1959. Yes, the Princess phone, pick it up, hello. I think, oh, it says it nestles in niches. Oh, you can hold it really easily, like with your shoulder and your, like, side of your head. And then it also glows. It glows, you guys. The dial glows. You know dial phones. Yeah, of course you do. Not everybody does. I mean, that younger generation, like, how do you dial a phone? They don't know. I love it. Anyway, but it when it rings, it lights up. Oh, I know. Dishes? You like dishes? Who doesn't love vintage mid-century dishes? So here we have Anything Goes, I believe it's called. Or, no, Anytime. Sorry, it's hard for me to read. Really small. Also, we have Heavenly Days and, oh, I can't read the other one. Oh, no. I do need glasses. Anyway, and down below, I mean, I love all, Tickle Pink. That's the teapot in the middle. I love these patterns. They're classic. My grandparents, when I was a little kid, had the Heavenly Days, the blue one there on the right. And I will tell you, I have to say, I think, seriously, not joking around, my second favorite set of dishes ever of all time is down below. That is called Smart Set. It was introduced in 1955. I don't think they made it past 1955. But it is like one of the shapes are absolutely wild. Many of the pieces are available with the wrought iron. You can see the soup tureen there with two handles. They were available with a wrought iron base, so you could put a little candle down there because it was supposed to be used outside. So anyway, it's just, yeah, Smart Set. Look it up. It's rare. They also have an Andy Warhol paper Campbell's soup can dress, you guys, there. And I looked it up, and there is one available online right now. I think they want $24,000 for it. Yes, the Kirkland Museum, we're still there, has a lot of wild and wacky stuff. I mean, there's no way I could have captured in a photo. And I have a lot of wacky paintings as well on the walls. I just love this place. It's full of spirit. It's full of love. It's full of lore. It's full of legendary things, unique things you've never seen before. And it is a cluster of stuff. Kirkland Museum, I highly recommend it. Yes, I do. If we're going to go to Denver, you guys, we're also going to go out. It's about 30 minutes north of town, northeast of town. We're going to go see Lee Maxwell, the world's leading collector of washing machines. Yeah, somebody had to collect all the washing machines. I mean, I went there and he said, well, you know, there's a minimum. I called on the phone first. He said there's a minimum of 8 people and it's $60. And I'm like, well, I don't have 8 people. He said, well, it'll still be $60. And I'm like, no problem. I will pay the $60. It should be $600, you guys. I mean, where do you get to be in the presence of somebody that is so hardwired and so dedicated, so decades has dedicated his life to collecting washing machines? He will tell you everything about every washing machine. I mean, if you want him to, but you know, he gives the highlights on the tour. And then these were some of my favorites right here. These Ringer washing machines. Love, 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 love. Love these. I know. I mean, it's kind of the combination between like an ice cream maker and a pasta roller. But, you know, no, that's where you wring your clothes out on top there. You wring them through. And sometimes people got their arms caught in there. I'm sorry to have to say it, but it's true. And don't you love the decorator colors? Turquoise, a pale, pale coral pink. And how much do we all love? Do you say powder blue or baby blue? I say both. Anyway, and then this, the pièce de résistance, this is the grand finale of the whole collection, 1953, the Westinghouse dryer, the laundromat, it says on the washing machine, and then clothes dryer on the one that we see closest to us. This is the set that took the world by storm and changed the household chore of washing and hanging laundry. Yes, it's one of the first dryers, but the set together is just too much for words, and rare. And then when the dryer's done, it plays a song called How Dry Am I? But apparently that's not a song from my era, so I don't know. But anyway, we're also talking about appliances, you guys, at another place. We have moved on to another small, well, actually huge museum in rural Colorado, Rambler Ranch, where one man has taken it upon himself to go absolutely stark raving wild and collect everything to do with the Nash Motor Car Company. Yes, Nash, Rambler, and AMC, that motor car company. And like Ford and Chrysler, they also manufactured appliances. In this case, the Nash Company's appliances were called Kelvinator. These are all Kelvinator appliances. Oh, except Philco in the middle there. That is not a Kelvinator. The one with the handles that go like this. Yes, this is the refrigerator that'll go both ways. Open it this way, it goes that way. Open it that way, it goes that way. Open it both together, and yeah, falls right on you, which could hurt. Anyway, here he is right here. This is Terry Gale, and welcome to a portion of the world's largest collection by far of AMC, Nash, Rambler, and AMC products. That is one mark that continued. The mark, if it continues at all, it's under Jeep, would be, anyway, it's a long story. But anyway, Ramblers and Nashes and AMCs no longer exist. That mark, those marks. But anyway, here they are. And among the most legendary Nash, Rambler, AMC products ever of all time is, you guys, you know it, you love it, you're seeing it right there on the left. It is a Pacer. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, introduced in the year of 1975. This is one of the most unique motor cars ever to roll down a road. Yes, indeed, it is special in so many ways. Just the shape of it alone, by the way, the width of it, the style of it, and it has a basket handle on top. Don't you love the basket handle? That was an extra option, you guys, to have the vinyl before and after it. Anyway, he has several of these Pacers, and this one probably has like 10 original miles on it, because he has some cars that have never got driven. But I will tell you, when I first went to France in 1992, my friend in France told me, because we were talking about cars, as people do, and he said that in 1975, when the Pacer came out, it was absolutely the chicest car to be seen in Paris. And I could not believe him at all, because here they were like practically the most embarrassing car to be seen in. We had a family friend with one at the time, and of course I was very curious about it, and I was shocked that the passenger door is 6 inches longer than the driver's door. Well, for ease of entry and exit, a longer door. I mean, it all makes sense. Anyway, it's very comfortable, very spacious inside. You could see everything everywhere, but I still haven't gotten over the fact that it was considered the chicest car in all of Paris when it came out. Anyway, they are highly collectible now, and to find a really super nice one, they're very, very rare, you guys. Pacer. Speaking of the basket handle, not the first time that Nash Rambler AMC put a basket handle on a car. You can see it on the billboard there. This is a 56. It says it right there. I was going to say 55. No, 56. I should know. I know. You guys, a Rambler, but you can see it on the billboard, the two-tone wrap over. So that spear comes forth, but it also wraps over the roof along with the other body color, which in the case, you can see the red, black, and white on the billboard. And then up front, how much do we love cars that are pink, you guys? I mean, starting at about 55, through about, maybe 1963 was about the last year that they, every year, at least one or more, usually more, the automakers had a pink automobile for you to choose from. So anyway, I know, I just love this car. We could go on and on. This is the guest quarters we're at Rambler Ranch, by the way, you guys. I mean, I should have a little thing in the corner. It's like, anyway, so I just wanted to tell you that this is the kitchen and the guest quarters there. And this place is a retro extravaganza. I've had the privilege of staying there a couple of times. RamblerRanch.com, you guys. Highly recommend a visit. We're gonna go a little bit. Oh, I better, can I just have a drink for a second? Maybe you want one too. Hold on, and try not to go down the wrong pipe. Very refreshing. Nothing like water. Oh, gosh, maybe I need a little more. The Forney Museum, yeah, rhymes with horny. Antique Car Museum started in the year of 1955. It is an absolute must-do, must-see in all of Denverland when you're there. This is Mr. and Mrs. Forney. They made their fortune together in the 1930s when they, I'm not sure who, it could be either one of them, invented the, this arc spot welder or something, a type of a welding machine, I believe. That's one of the versions of it right there in red. So they were in welding, and from there they exploded into other. Well, I shouldn't say that. No, not when you're welding. They just blew up. Oh, I shouldn't say that either. Anyway, they were so smart that they actually created this giant company that did many, many things. Mr. and Mrs. Forney of Denver. Yes, and here is a view of the Forney Museum the last time I was there. The place is massive. They have all kinds of things. They have cars, they have trains, they have buggies, they have boats, they have bicycles, they have motorcycles, all kinds of other stuff too. It is quite spectacular, as is this, the all-new for 1957 Golden Hawk by Studebaker, finished in jet black, a white sweeping side spear, and don't you love that lipstick red interior? Those fins, I know, the way they just spring out of that fender. Not to mention that wraparound rear window and those gorgeous wheel covers. You want to talk about the most unusual car of 1957? This is a cutaway version of the 1957 Ford Fairlane Sunliner convertible. Sunliner. Anyway, so this was a car long before BMW did it, like in the 90s or whatever. The trunk would go up backwards and the hard top would go in the trunk, and then the trunk would come back down and you would have a convertible, a hard top convertible. They made them for 3 years, Ford did. Yes, this is in 1957. They did 58 and 59. This is a cutaway example of all the 610 feet of wire, 9 circuit breakers, 10 solenoids, 13 switches, and 7 electric motors. I mean, talk about an electrical, I don't want to say it, an electrical marvel. A marvel. And if you want one of these, you can get one. They are very reasonably priced, but make sure to get a really nice one. And when I was a little kid, also here, and there's a train in the background there, actually a trolley car, but my grandmother had this car. She drove it every day. It was white with a blue top, and it's a 1960 Cadillac, by the way. And every single time she drove up to our house, everyone in the whole house, whoever was there, would drop everything they were doing and turn around and out loud say in perfect unison, that is the most beautiful car I have ever seen. We always just said that about my grandmother's car. Look how gorgeous it is. I know, the divine simplicity. Those razor sharp fins will send your imagination into the stratosphere. The tour of the Forney Museum continues. Yes, they actually, I'm not sure if they let you go on this train car or if they raised the rope for me. Sometimes they do. Places, and or did I sneak on it? I would never do that. No, not really. I mean, maybe, but so I love the dummy there reading the menu. She doesn't know I'm there. The little kid, I know, and not to mention they have furnished I'm sure back in the 50s they furnished this train car with 1950s dinette sets. I mean, that is they had to call up and order there's like 5 of them there. There's probably more behind us, and they are all in perfect unused condition. I know. And don't you love mint green and yellow together? Yes, you do. They also have wax figurines, you guys. These are the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers. Well, they're white. I don't know why I call them the White brothers, but no. Anyway, never mind. Right. And they were very right about the bicycle that they invented. The airplane. Oh my God. They owned a bicycle shop and they turned a bicycle into an airplane. That's what happened. Okay, calm down. How's everybody doing so far? Well, good. Anyway, so the figurines came from the way long defunct Wax Museum of Denver. And so the powers there that be at the Forney Museum tell me they also have John F. Kennedy's figure, but they don't know what box it's in, and they've got like 900 boxes on the wall in the back, out of sight. They gave me the backstage tour, and they're like, in one of those boxes is John F. Kennedy's wax figure. And of course, whenever I see Kennedy, I think, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Oh, it's low power mode is turned off. Good, because I've got it plugged in. Sorry. It's all, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. Life is full of surprises. And here is Molly Brown, Denver's most famous resident. Molly Brown is famous because she was one of the survivors of the Titanic. She was a very wealthy and very smart woman who did many things. You can tour her house there in Denver, the Molly Brown House Tour. And there was also a movie made about her, a musical in the 60s starring Debbie Reynolds. It was called The Unsinkable Molly Brown. I mean, referring to the fact she didn't go down with the Titanic. Anyway, you can tour her house. So I went to her house to tour it in Denver, and I bought my ticket, and I was waiting on the porch, and the tour lady came out, and I handed her my ticket. She said, "You're not on this tour." I'm like, "I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry." She goes, "You're on the next tour." I'm like, "Okay." So I stood back, and then, a few minutes went by until it was time for the next tour. Until it was time for the next tour, and the next tour guide lady came out, and I handed her my ticket. "You're not on this tour." I'm like, "Oh dear, I'm sorry." I mean, so crabby too, really crabby. And so I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry." And so I stepped back, and then pretty soon, I looked at my ticket and it was like, "Okay, I get it. I got, I was on going to the one before my time." So finally I get up to the door and nobody when it's my time. I wait and wait. Finally, a car pulls up, and a teenage girl wearing her cheerleader outfit bounces out of the car, flippy skirt, bouncing all the way up to the front porch and goes, "I'm so sorry. This is my first day. I've never tour guided before here, but I'm now volunteering here, so you're my first tour guide group." She didn't know anything about the Molly Brown house. And of course, it was one of the most memorable tours I've ever had. A teenage girl in a cheerleading outfit, hilarious. Where do we begin? So, as I said, life is full of surprises. This is the Brown Palace Hotel, built in the year, I think it's 1892, 1893. And it is an icon, a legendary landmark in Denver. And it is a glorious place that you must experience when you are in Denver. You cannot not go to the legendary Brown Palace, having nothing to do with Molly Brown, though. Did I just say that? Anyway, I don't know why the sky on this slide got a little deep fried when I scanned it. Anyway, I know there are no guarantees. It looks like early 70s here, maybe 1972, 73, judging by the cars. And inside is one of my favorite restaurants I've ever been to. It's called the Ship Tavern. And it's from the 30s, the restaurant is. The neon is probably a little later, probably 50s, but I love that gorgeous neon ship there, and the word tavern spelled out, all poised, proper, and dignified, and just everything old worldly about this place. You walk in the door, and it's one of those places, it's hard to photograph, you guys. It just is. There's stuff everywhere, and you can see the inside is so beautifully detailed, so gorgeous. The ship models, according to the legend, were brought by one of the managers decades and decades and decades ago on a trip from South America or something. And anyway, I love the tablecloths and all the other decor. And there are these hand-painted maps on the wall. You can see the United States map there. I said it before and I'll say it again. I love a restaurant that's also an art gallery with original art on the wall that pertains to either the restaurant itself or the theme of the restaurant. And in this case, again, not easy to photograph. Sorry, I keep saying that, but we might as well just be real about it. Anyway, but it was beautifully hand-painted, probably in the 40s. And it's the map of North America, as you can see, and all those ships and everything. And the Viking ship is ready for its close-up, just to give you an up-close view of the style guide of the painting style, which I absolutely love. The highlights on the dragon there, the lowlights, all the shields, the highlights on that sail and everything. I love a Viking ship, indeed. When I was in 5th grade, I made a Viking ship for a float in our school parade. Anyway, it was on a wagon and everything. It looked basically just like this, and I pulled it along. I was so proud of it. But unfortunately, no photos exist. But we're not talking about photos of my Viking ship parade float from 1974, about 73. We're talking about the Molly Gibson, not the Brown Palace, but the Molly Gibson Restaurant and Lounge. Oh, it's weird. The whole time I've been looking at this, I was thinking it was a a motel, but it's not. Anyway, it was in Aspen up until like 2 years ago. It had been there forever, and now the Molly Gibson Restaurant and Lounge is a no longer. But let us remember it, and I'm sure long gone next door is the Sands. Look at it there. Look at it there, written all out on flagstone. There it is at night. And what I love about this sign more than anything, well, of course, we always love the word "the" written out, kind of small, and then the big whatever. And it says refrigerated, AAA is there, that orange neon, gorgeous. But it doesn't even say vacancy. It just says no. N-O. I know. Inside, the rooms are classic. Very classic roadside Americana, naughty wood pine paneling in the most gorgeous, glowing, honey blonde calico print curtains, mismatched lampshades, the green, the one that kind of blends into the wall, shade of the peanut butter, to match the green lampshade, that early American 2-passenger settee or sofa, just like the one we had when I was growing up, that I dropped food coloring all over it because I thought it needed to be more colorful. And we have a bathroom tile top table. And my favorite detail, the end tables. Oh yeah, the end tables. I love the little one below the green shade there. It has a horseshoe as a drawer pull. And not to mention, how much do you love when you go into a place and the wall air conditioning unit has a frame around it like it's a piece of art. It makes me want to paint air conditioners now. I think I could. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this, the All States Village Motor Court, 48 states. I don't know exactly where in Colorado it was, but it was in Colorado. And I know that it's not there anymore because if it was, we would know. With an American flag as the crowning touch. That sign is everything. Shape of the United States, the arrow going through it. Love, 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 love. It reminds me when I was a child growing up in Ontario, California, our local Frosty place, like Dairy Queen or whatever, Foster's Freeze or whatever. I don't know what yours was, but we had the chains and then we had some smaller chains and then every town had like a one-off. And our one-off Frosty place was called the All States Frosty. And they had a big giant map on the patio wall right by where you ordered, and it mapped the United States, and every single state had a different ice cream sundae name for it. There were 50 ice cream sundaes on the menu. Where do we begin to behold the glory? Anyway, you want to stay at the Ramada Inn in Denver? Fine, be that way. Here we are. The year looks like about 1967-ish, I'm going to say. The Ramada Inn started in Flagstaff, Arizona, the year 1954. Yes, indeed. Here it is. There is the official greeter right there, with his early Americana outfit on, and is he holding a instrument, and then on it is a banner that says Ramada Inn? I think so, roadside motels. So I remember going into, I think it was Deming, New Mexico, and I went to stay overnight on a road trip at what had been a Ramada Inn. It was very obvious, the Ramada Inn style, very early American. Well, this one has some mid-century, kind of early American style. Washington, D.C. style. Anyway, so I pull up, I go inside, everything's fine. The guy who waited on me at the front desk was, let's just say, a rather portly gentleman, and very distinctive looking, balding, and dressed well. And so I said, well, thank you so much. And I said, I want to get something to eat. He goes, well, the coffee shop's about to close. So I walked across the other side of the coffee shop. There was like nobody else working in this place. It was like this one guy. And then I go to the coffee shop and there he is again. And I said to him, excuse me, how did you get over here before I did? That's impossible. And he said, turn around. And I turned around. They were twins. Dressed alike, both portly. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. That happened to me one other time in a thrift store. Twins playing tricks on us non-twins. Anyway, we're not talking about non-twins anymore, or twins. We're talking about what used to be the Bugs Bunny Motel, but Warner Brothers got mad. I'm not sure when, but this sign dates definitely from the 1950s. It is in Denver. It is still standing there. They had to change it from Bugs. You can see the S painted out there to the Big Bunny Motel. And yes, here it says vacancy. And I don't know about you, but this Big Bunny is ready for his close-up. I don't know who drew him, but apparently they thought prominent front teeth are going to want to make people stay here and stand here. and take pictures. And don't you love the carrot in the hand, that faded orange? It even has the carrot tops on it there in green. But why is he holding a roll of toilet paper? That's what I do not get. I have no idea what the significance of the toilet paper is, but I do know the significance of this, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, I do. The Rabbit Ears Motel, standing in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, from 1954 till now. Still, you can go to Steamboat Springs and still stay at this Rabbit Ears Motel. The motel looks completely different. It's no longer the little simple mid-century, but the sign is the original sign, still there. The giant bunny ears, anything to capture your attention, anything to get you to pull over. I would slam on the brakes for this. Indeed, I would. Speaking of Steamboat Springs, Colorado, don't you just love the name, Steamboat Springs? I know. Is FM Light and Sons Western wear? Yes, they are. Well, I'm sure Lions Drugs is long gone, but FM Light and Sons is still in business exactly as they have been since the year of 1905. Talk about a legacy business, fourth generation. I don't know, that must be about second generation there. This picture was taken according to the, I can see the top of that convertible car right there on the lower right. That's either a 59 or a 60 General Motors car. So this was taken right after 59 or 60. And yes, FM Light and Sons. Mr. Light was a marketing genius, and he was one of those rare businesses that, well, I guess a lot of businesses put a lot of billboards up, but he was really, really, really into billboards, and he had them all along the roads, all leading to Colorado Springs for decades, and there might be one or two still standing out there, maybe more, I don't know. It'd be interesting to go find out. I love to be inspired to go find things that, are they still there? What's going on? But I will tell you that in Denver, the other, even, more famous Western wear store is Rockmount Ranch Wear, True West. Yes, here I am holding up. I'm actually wearing one right now. But I will tell you that this shirt didn't come with all the sparkles on it. I was at the roller rink near me, and this lady from clear across the other side of the roller rink goes, psst, psst, psst. I'm like, are you talking to me? She goes, yeah. And she said, come here. I'm like, what is it? And she said, by the way, if you ever need any bedazzling, I'm your bedazzler. Who says that? I said, of course I need bedazzling. So not a week later, she had this shirt in her hands, and she bedazzled it with all these crystal stones. Of course, I'm so happy. Anyway, so yes, Western ranch wear, Rockmount. I love anytime you see rope, any word spelled out in rope as you do there. This is the place. Up on the wall there, you can see a poster of that cowboy with the white hat and the kind of pink and blue shirt. This is the close-up. Yes, it is indeed the reason why I'm showing it to you, the fact that the Western shirt was invented in Denver, Colorado in the year of 1946. Well, it may not have been invented, but it was absolutely perfected. And the perfection of it was the perfect yoke collar coming to a point, a perfect matching pocket flap, two pockets, two patch pockets, and with a point down on the bottom. And not to mention the most important detail of all, well, they're all important, but the snaps, snap pockets and snaps all the way down the placket. No buttons, no buttons, no buttons. And that was the brainchild of this man right here, Jack Weil, ladies and gentlemen. So Jack Weil lived to be 107 years old. He started the company in 46, and it's probably been about 14 years ago that he passed. And I did have the privilege and the pleasure of taking this photo of him. I went there, and he wasn't there. I wanted to meet him because I know he was a legend. And when I met him, he was about 105 here. And look at it, says government surplus. He's holding up two horses' asses. Anyway, he was a character, and I got to talk to him for a few minutes before I had to go and catch my plane. And then the next time I went to Denver, I asked about him. I said, he's 100 and, he's like 105, 106 years old. And I said, has anybody seen or heard from about Jack Weil? And so they are like, well, we think he's fine. We haven't heard anything. And all be darned. That night, when I went back to my hotel room, I turned on the local news, and there it was. Remembering Jack Weil. Yes, a legend in the Western wear apparel world, and was the oldest CEO at the time of his death at 107 years of age. So Jack, Thank you for the cowboy shirts. I love wearing it. And you are awesome forever and always. The business continues in his family. Visit Rockmount Ranchwear in Denver. The Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. It was built in 1909 by the guy who invented the Stanley Steamer. So the Stanley Steamer car was so popular that he made a lot of money. He's like, I'm going to build a resort hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. So voila, there it is. And as you can tell, it's painted a beautiful shade of a pale mint green. And I don't know about you, but I love the raspberry toning of that terracotta colored staircase. Not one, but two. Indeed, yes. And a tiny little sign. Anyway, it's most famous, of course, for being in the movie The Shining. So speaking of Estes Park, Colorado, I don't know about you, but I love this one right here. This is, a street scene. What can I say? I mean, might as well get it out in the open. Signals ahead, Kodak finishing, somebody's mama's ski shop? Ski shop? No, it's S-E-B, I don't know. It says something. But up front there, it's the Grace Gift Shop. Views and gifts. Apparently, you could go in. It looks like a very old gift shop. It's probably been there since 1909, since the hotel was built. It must have a big view on the backside. I don't know. They didn't take the picture, but when I saw this in my slide collection, I thought I have to include this. I love the color of the trim on the windows there, and I love the style of the signage and everything, and the lady in the sundress, and the lady in the afternoon suit strolling along. She's probably, for all we know, on her way here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, since the year of 1935, or is it 33? Anyway, the taffy shop. So in Estes Park, Colorado, and I don't know about you, but I love when signage, graphics or whatever, when letters are what I call drunk. That's what I call drunk style. And the taffy shop, so playful, so whimsical, so happy, so buoyant, so optimistic. That's what it is. And of course, don't you love the big "the" in the circle, a neon circle, the taffy shop. Anyway, I will tell you that it is my privilege and honor to inform you that when you go, unlike me, you've got to realize you've got to stick around until night because those taffy shop letters illuminate in shocking pink. Yes, indeed they do. And the guy in the white t-shirt there, darn it, is standing right in front of the taffy machine in the window. And, who doesn't love to go? I love the mom and pop candy stores of this world. And when I see one, I bolt in and buy something. I try not to eat it all. It makes, candy makes a great host or hostess gift or whatever. Or just give it to anybody else. Just buy some. Just support these places. They give our city's unique character. In my hometown of Ontario, we have Logan's Candies. Inside, since 1933, about as old as this one. Inside, you have some wrought iron like they think they are in New Orleans. Don't you love the checkerboard floor? Those silk flowers that match that very almost kind of day-glow-esque yellow of the counter. And, of course, a few of the many flavors there of the taffy they have on display. Looks like some swans in the background there, and I hereby do declare that woman there is one of the original family members. But I will tell you, not but just several years ago, indeed, the family sold it to another party who is keeping it exactly as it is, and the legend continues. The taffy shop of Estes Park across the street came a few years later. It says it right there, since 1940. Saltwater taffy, homemade chocolates, and hot popcorn, and caramel crisp. Just stop in the name of love and bask in the glory of the glow of the words caramel and crisp written out like that. And then, as if that wouldn't be enough, you get hot and popcorn. Oh yeah, I know. And then below it, the divine simplicity of the most utilitarian form of signage. They're sprayed from a stencil. Original caramel crisp. I feel like ordering some right now. I could eat caramel crisp all day. I could eat caramel corn all day. I know. Anyway, who cares? No, not who cares. We do care. And we do care about caramel crisp. And when you go there, you got to get taffy and caramel crisp. You got to support these places. I do. I know. Anyway, catch a trout. This is the little Silver Streak train in Estes Park. I don't know about you, but I love a model train whenever they appear. I mean, again, the whimsy, just the happiness of it. I mean, it's just adorable. Catch a trout, yeah, right there. If you want, and I love the Texaco gas station as well, and the people waiting in line to ride the Silver Streak. But you want to catch a trout? Fine, there must be some here. Again, in a circle, we have the trout jumping out of the water. I do love trout, but I don't see it on menus very much anymore. I haven't had trout for a while. Not so much trout almondine, but just plain trout, like pan-fried in butter. Whoa, where do we begin? Or broiled, grilled. I like it anyway. So if you're having a trout party, I'll bring some homemade candy to the trout party. Anyway, this is Frasier, must be Frasier, Colorado, Ike's Vacation Land. The deer with the antlers. You're always welcome to the coldest spot in the nation. I love a hand-painted sign. I mean, this is just speaks to me. It's like art. It is folk art. Look at just the shape of it, just everything about it. Oh, and as the crowning touch, the elevation for your pleasure of information, knowing, and mine. Yes, indeed. Frasier is 8,550 feet above sea level. I'm not sure where these people are, but I know they're in Colorado. They got the Colorado license plates. It's been snowing. They've been skiing, or they are on their way. Tie the trunk up with rope there, and it looks like it's about a 1950 Plymouth, and that gorgeous kind of gunmetal blue. Don't you love how it pairs with Mother's Little Red Riding Hood coat of red wool? And I thought it was a leopard scarf at first, but no. But she's got bobby socks on and saddle shoes that are very dirty. The little boys are all dressed up. The goggles, the shape of the goggles is like Gucci. Are you watching? I mean, this could be the new shape of your sunglass. Drop way down over the face. I mean, yeah, absolutely. We learn from the past. We learn from each other. There's a lot to learn here, like yet another place to go when you are in Colorado. The Seven Falls, the grandest mile of scenery in Colorado. That may be an overstatement, but we're fine with it. And the most beautiful canyon in the world. I love anywhere there is a drive-through. And I mean, literally, you are driving through this signage. And when you do, you have arrived. You are there. And the there here is the most beautiful canyon in the world. Yeah, because it has the Seven Falls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you wait until dark, and apparently you can barely see faint there. There's a staircase. I don't know if you stand there or if you stand back or what, because I have not been there yet. It's always nice to not having been everywhere, so you have somewhere to look forward to going. I know I never like to see everything when I go somewhere. I mean, although you can't. But, I always want to save something, so I have an excuse to go back. Yes. Anyway, I love multicolor lighting. I know you do too. We could talk about it for a very long time because, I mean, it just fills the depth of the soul of the very being that I possess. Multicolor lighting speaks to me deeply. I know, don't you love it too? I know. Everyone does. The world needs more multicolor lighting. Indeed it does. In 1958, at the site of a spectacular discovery that had happened already, probably, not quite 100 years earlier, but a long time earlier, dinosaur bones and fossils, they built on it to protect it, the concentration of it, this spectacular mid-century modern building. Where do we begin to behold the glory of? I mean, literally, this is like Googie coffee shop architecture. And it's about the right time. 1958 was about the pinnacle peak of the Googie coffee shop roof line, the glass wall. I mean, this is basically a coffee shop that has had a baby with a landmark, a tourist attraction, a national park place. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, you guys, and by the way, don't you love the little extra bonus building up front? That round building with that ramp? How you like that ramp? It goes this way and then goes all the way around. And oh, it's just a gorgeous ramp. I love a good ramp. Yeah, and the world does not have enough ramps, does it? I mean, it's kind of on its way to wanting to be the beginning of the thinking of the style guide and the route idea of the Guggenheim, but I guess the Guggenheim had already been built, so never mind. And by the way, yes, that is a 1959 Chevrolet, 50 Chevrolet out front there in a gorgeous forest green metallic, and next to it, a 1960 Dodge Dart. And I will tell you, I'll never forget the time. The oldest car I've ever owned was a 1950 Chevrolet. I was on my way to an estate sale in Glendale, California one day, and it was parked on the corner. This was like 25 years ago. It was parked on the corner. It was black with a red interior, and it said for sale. I mean, it was a really sweet car. Of course, I slammed on the brakes and, went to a phone booth and called. I know, 25 years ago, you guys, phone booths. And I called, and, within the afternoon, I owned the car. But on its way, it went inside that googie coffee shop of a shelter for this fossil deposit, or whatever you call them. I mean, we love fossils. We love dinosaurs. I remember when I was 10, I buried I had to bury my hamster in the backyard because it died. Anyway, it died. It was dead when I buried it. I would never bury anything alive, knowingly. But anyway, so what happened is that when I was burying it, I thought to myself, how many years am I going to have to wait until it's a fossil? And so I thought it would, I knew that they took a long time, but I thought I might get lucky and it would be in 3 years, it would be a fossil. Anyway, I don't know whatever happened to the hamster. I never tried to dig it up, but maybe in a million years somebody will, and they'll have a hamster fossil. His name was Mushroom, by the way. I also had another one named Marshmallow for your information, and another one called Pinkerton. Anyway, so the pièce de résistance here, the star of the show, I'm sure these people are pointing at it or him or her right now, is this gorgeous dinosaur remain, practically in amber. Look at the expression on that prehistoric creature's face. Happy, wide-eyed, and gosh, I know. It's too deep for us to really fathom. The human brain doesn't quite grasp it all when it comes to the dinosaur world. I know, but we love them and we're fascinated by them. Anyway, but it's missing a tooth. After a million years, I guess. What are you going to do? Okay, speaking of missing a tooth, I'm not sure if any of these people are. Chances are they might be. But anyway, we're not talking about that. Oh, I just noticed somebody's trying to get into the train car there. Yes, this is the, I thought this was the Durango and Silverton Railroad, but it says Denver there. It has to be, yeah. Anyway, it's just a slide from my collection, but the Durango Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad, these people are striking a pose. There's nothing to it. The lady on the left carries her purse with one hand and jacket over the shoulders to match her skirt. That's an afternoon suit. And then the lady next to her has a big camera around her neck, 3 strands of pearls, and a Budweiser beer. And then we got a camera at the waistline, another one. And then the guy hanging on the train, he doesn't want it to leave without him. And then the guy on the right, I thought he was smoking. No, I don't think he's smoking. But why is he holding a toilet seat? I have no idea. The rabbit was holding that bunny, the big bunny. The Bugs Bunny was holding a roll of toilet paper and he's got a toilet seat. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not sure I want to. But I do want to tell you that Coors, the lady had the can of Coors in her hand. It was this. This is the first canned beer ever. Coors was a pioneer in the canning beer in the year, like this at least, in this shape of a can. In the year of 1959 is when it was first introduced. Introduced needs more syllables. Like nudity, that's a word with another syllable. And what's the other one? Fabulous? No, that's not it. Fabulous. There was another word I like to use with it. Okay, we're not talking about syllables. We're talking about America's fine light beer. So, by the way, Coors beer, whether you like it or not, has been celebrating, or is celebrating, 150 years, started in Golden, Colorado. Yeah, 150 years ago. But on the train, the Silverton Durango Narrow Gauge Railroad, I actually rode on the train when I was 14 years old, and shame on me, because I really didn't appreciate it at the time. But now it's like now that I've been working on the show, it's all I want to do right now is go back to Colorado and go to all these places. And you can still go on this train trip. It's been going since 1888. and it is still happening on a daily basis. And chug, 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 chug. It looks like there is a big cliff there. It doesn't stop the guy from peeking his elbow and his camera out the window to take a picture of the front of the train, which usually is billowing smoke. I don't know why on this shot it isn't, but I thought I'd show it to you, just as I thought I would show you this slide, a souvenir slide as I called it, that had faded completely to pink. I brought it back as best I could for you. Yes, this is Silverton, Colorado, and I love the cars all parked there. I love the little businesses. Looks like there's a little gift shop there. There's a laundry. There is the best cafe. I think I do need new glasses because I just can't see anymore. Anyway, sorry, too much information. And up the street there is the famous Imperial Hotel. Yes. Oh, and let's not forget, you guys, really, weirdly, this whole show, and I should be showing you at least the Rocky Mountains once. Well, I think this is actually the best view you're going to get of the Rocky Mountains. I know, aren't they gorgeous? Where do we begin to behold the glory? But we were talking about the Imperial Hotel up the street there. This is not that Imperial Hotel. This is another Imperial Hotel. Well, actually, it was up the street from this building. This is Cripple Creek, Colorado. And we are at the corner where there is looking over the roofline of a 59 Ford, you guys, in a very lovely shade of milk chocolate. Metallic. The Gilded Cafe Sweet Shop. They have imported candies, among other things it says on the sign there. There's the Cottage Inn, the cafe. Anyway, I just love a gorgeous street scene. I love the art above the little sign, Gilded Cage. I love the little painting there. And then, I don't know if you can see it, look really closely at the corner there where the door is. Right above the door, there is a bird cage hanging there. I mean, there's probably a bird in there sometimes, you guys. I mean, where do we begin to behold the glory? I know. There was an arrow on that sign, and I love arrows on signs. You love arrows on signs, so here's another arrow on sign. Bask in it, enjoy it, and behold the glory of it. The Royal Gorge, entrance 3 miles, open every day, America's most sensational scenery. Well, is it or is it? Here are, remember, I thought I turned my phone off and now someone's calling me. Oh dear, sorry. I know. You guys, I don't want to say it, but I'm like teetering on the brink of technology. It's like putting the show together had me, I've done it over and over, but it's like I'm teetering on the brink of total disaster, of meltdown of technology, it seems, at all times. Am I the only one? Anyway, because I thought I turned the phone off and it was just ringing. But anyway, I let it go to voicemail because you are more important right now, of course. So this is the Royal Gorge. This is the Missy and Junior. They were standing in front of the ice rink. We just met them a little while ago in Denver. I love that black and white bias stripe trim on his parka there. A very, very sensible cord pant, a corduroy pant of wheat with a white sock black shoe. She does the same white sock black shoe look. Very chic. I've always loved the white sock with a black shoe. And it's very European. At least it was in the 60s. Anyway, I know. And then the black pant, but a floral zip front parka on her. A blue floral, very unexpected. And let's face it, timeless, classic. Is that a headband she's wearing? Is that curlers in her hair up there? I have no idea. Anyway, the bridge. There was a bridge up there. Sorry, I should have pointed out to you. This is the bridge, the Royal Gorge Bridge. It is still there. It was built, I forgot what year, about 1927. And I don't think anymore, but when it was built, it was the highest suspension bridge on Earth. And anyway, so yeah, but as I said, it's still there. And you can kind of, I don't know, well, back then it was like one lane, you could kind of drive across it, but people did, and then they're standing there having their picture taken. Look down, and you see this. That is the gorge. You're looking down into the gorge from the bridge. Hello, that makes sense. Anyway, down there is this full-size train next to the river, and it is ready for its close-up, the Royal Gorge. I love the font that they are using there, the typeface Royal Gorge, like the L has a big thing on it, and the G has a big thing on it, like a whoosh, and the Y kind of does a whoosh as well. Don't you love a font, or do you call them typefaces? The word font was only introduced, 20 years ago by like Steve Jobs. Before that, we said typeface. But anyway, the Royal Gorge, any font or a typeface with a whoosh, we love. So yeah, you can still ride this train. It's still orange. It's still gorgeous. It's still vintage. I'll admit it. I'm not too proud. 4 headlights, 2 stacked and 2 side by side. I love that. I'm sure it's not 4:03 in the afternoon, but maybe that's a clock on the train. No, it's not. There's more headlights down below as well. I mean, this thing is a buffet of interesting things and very streamlined styling. Very classic. You can still ride it, and they have plenty of packages to ride the train because I went online. I have never ridden it. This is no longer there, unfortunately. Very much like the little silver streak train we just saw in Estes Park. Now they've painted it red, orange to match the train that goes in the gorge. The Royal Gorge Scenic Railroad Trainette. I love these little trains, and there are a few of these still around, and I should know where more are. Anyway, because we love them. They're whimsical, they're playful, they're fun, and timeless. Each one is a world-class national treasure, by the way. You know that, of course. Incline Railway, world's steepest to the bottom of Gorge. You want to take the Incline Railway down there? That is a funicular. One car goes up, the other car goes down. Yes, you do. Right on a steep rail. Anyway, yeah, it's scary. Anyway, you can see what the little funicular looks like. It has a clear green tinted roof. I guess so the sun doesn't, kill you or whatever. And it also, bathes you in green light, which makes everyone look like they're either a Martian or dead. And then when you get down there, they have, looks like 2 outhouse style, classic utilitarian style restrooms. Apparently they are unisex, what do they say now? Gender neutral. Is that what they say? I went to a restaurant the other day and it said gender neutral. I'm like, okay. Frankly, I feel sorry for the ladies, but that's another whole story altogether. We're not talking about that. I know, because, hello. But anyway, but what do you do when you get down there at the bottom of the Royal Gorge? Well, nothing. Just wait in line to get all the way back up. You want to go up? You want to go up and away. Up, way up high. Yeah, the Continental Divide. Here it is right here. Official scenic historic marker. It is indeed. This man has his warm weather afternoon hat on, his striped shirt, which I love stripes going that way on a camp style shirt, and a double pleated trouser that looks like a lightweight woolen for spring or summer in the purplest of, it's kind of purple blue. But anyway, we're not talking about the color of his double pleated lightweight wool trouser pant. No, we're talking about the fact that, he is having a cigarette. And at the top of the Continental Divide, we have a Pendleton fashion show. By the way, at the Continental Divide, you guys, that's where the water, if you stand on this side, the water goes toward the Atlantic. If you stand on that side, the water goes to the Pacific. That is the Continental Divide. And here they are, Mr. and Mrs. Pendleton standing there at the Continental Divide. This fashion show reminds me of, he's wearing the same pant the other guy was, but it's not the same guy. So the fashion show, yes, Pendleton. I love Pendleton. Pendleton is from the 1850s, or is it 60s? 1864, I think, in Portland, Oregon. Well, Pendleton, Oregon, next door to Portland. Anyway, so I have been to the factory. I have seen where they spin the yarn and all of that. It is amazing. And weave it. I highly recommend a trip to Pendleton Woolen Mills, you guys. I cannot tell you how fascinating it is. I love to wear Pendleton board shirts all through the cooler months. I wear them. I will tell you though, maybe I've mentioned it before, I'm not sure, but something happened. And it was several years ago now. I got into my closet on the first cold day of the year, and I was going to, pick out one of my Pendleton shirts to wear. And I got one out and it was all riddled with mothballs. And I thought, well, that's weird. I've never had mothballs before, ever. Moth holes or balls. Anyway, yeah, I know that's, okay, sorry. Moth holes. Well, moth holes. So moth holes that moths eat in your wool. Yeah. So anyway, then in order to get rid of the moths, you have to get mothballs. It's just weird. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So, let's not get carried away. I think I need something to drink. Will you hold the line a moment, please? Thank you. Okay, so here's what happened. I get out the next one. I have like 5 of them, and all of them are riddled with moth holes. and I'm like crying and everything. A friend comes over. I'm like, look, I can't believe it. I've never had moth holes before. And he said, oh, yeah, you should just call Pendleton right up and they'll exchange them and send you new ones. So I called Pendleton up and I called Pendleton. I was crying and I said, I've got moth holes in all my Pendletons and my 5 Pendletons. Like, send them back to us immediately. We'll replace them. Like, literally 2 days later, I had 5 brand new Pendleton board shirts. And so I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. So the year goes by. I wear them. I love them. I put them away for, spring and summer or whatever, the warm months. And then the next year, I got mothballs too. I got mothballs and I put it in my closet. So there would be no more moths. So then what happened was, you guys, is I opened first cold day of the next year, I throw open the sliding doors of my closet and I reach in. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Those mothballs didn't work. Riddled with moths. So my friend said, call them back. They'll exchange them again. So I called up Pendleton and they said, oh, no, you don't. You tried that one on us last year. So I'm still wearing Pendletons with moth holes in it. So anyway, Cave of the Winds. I love a cave when I travel. Always have, always will. Because they're always like cool inside, especially if it's warm months travel. You can go down into the earth. I will say Cave of the Winds in Colorado is the only cave I've ever been in, because I've only been in a few, really. But it's the only one I've ever been in that you had to crawl through parts. That got a little weird for me. I mean, I'm not really claustrophobic, but that was a little much when you have to get down on your hands and knees and crawl through part of a cave. So I'm not sure I would go back in this cave again, but if it wasn't much, but it was just a little bit. But I do love to go through a cave, and I love it when there's a car show in the parking lot. I love those 2 like early 50s Cadillac limousines sitting there, right there. I know that, especially that one in jade green with that dark green roof. Absolutely gorgeous. Over on the right, the same almost jade green. It's a 58. By 1958, they had pulled those fins out into points. And we love the wraparound rear window. Yes, we do. And the American flag flying as it should have been on this. This is the world's wonder view from Tower. This was built in the 1920s. It is still standing. However, it is out of business. This is on the east side of Colorado. And it says, Ripley's Believe It or Not states to be seen: Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, Kansas, and New Mexico. How is that possible that you can see that far? I mean, how many stories is that? It looks like it's 8 stories maybe. I mean, 8, I don't know. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it's got to be taller than to see 8 states or whatever. Oh dear. Anyway, I hope somebody brings this back, because if they do, I will be there, because I want to go and see if I can see all those states. And when you paint it up, you guys paint it up just like this, same signage and everything. Put that Ripley's on there. We love a good time travel experience. Speaking of towers, here is the more castle-like tower built up in the hills above Colorado Springs, Colorado in 1935. This is the Will Rogers Memorial Tower. Will Rogers was many things. His life ended abruptly, sadly, in a plane crash in the 1930s. He was an actor, a vaudevillian, a writer, a political commentator. I mean, this guy was super smart and super talented and super successful. Will Rogers. Yes, you can visit the Will Rogers Memorial Tower there with those 2 foo dogs and pine trees coming in at you. Also, the Will Rogers home in Pacific Palisades right here in Los Angeles. Another view of the Will Rogers Memorial from up above. You see down below the gorgeous valley, the vast valley of Colorado Springs, and on that little lake, or is it a lakeette? It looks like we've got a racetrack and a lakeette. And of course, that is the big white blob there. That is the legendary landmark Broadmoor Hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, built about 110 years ago. It is still a very fancy pants resort hotel. I have been there only once. I was invited there to actually kind of perform at a chocolate festival by creating a chocolate donut Christmas tree with whipped cream, like snow on the chocolate donut mountain that I created. And then I put candy all over it and everything. And then accidentally it collapsed. But anyway, as I said, as we all know, there are no guarantees in life. The tour continues. Indeed it does. Yes, there is a Cadillac parked out front, an early 50s Cadillac, and that would be a Cadillac engine that you would find in this. This is from the Broadmoor Hotel. You would take this zooliner up to the zoo there near the Broadmoor Hotel. And I don't know about you, but I love oddball vehicles. Yes, we do, in every way, every day. Under that hood is a Cadillac engine. You can see the V right there down front on that big piece of stainless. And that's for V8. And you can barely see the little Cadillac crest right below that one single headlight. How much do we love any vehicle with a single headlight? I know. Anyway, just the shape of the whole thing. It's a little clumsy, a little wonderful, and many, many other things. And how about those whiskers of ribbed stainless steel wrapping around? And as a dramatic touch, they have added a recessed band of a dark red around the lower portion of the engine car and passenger cars. Yes, indeed. So they saved it for decades. It went out, it stopped working in like 1974, and they thought, we got to save this. People loved it. Of course, as they would. But finally it rotted away, and now it's all just gone. So nothing lasts forever. However, this has lasted practically forever. The Cog Railroad, the Pikes Peak Cog Railroad there, you guys, depot. You've got to go. If you're in Colorado, Manitou Springs, above Colorado Springs, is where you will enjoy the trip to the top of the hill. Yes, that's a 57 Chevy taxi cab right there. Don't you love it? I know. I've never seen a taxi cab in taxi cab yellow, also known as macaroni and cheese yellow, or mine call it cheddar cheese, which I like to use sharp cheddar cheese in my macaroni and cheese, but we're not talking about macaroni and cheese right now. We're talking about cheddar cheese with marshmallow fenders. I know. Anyway, yes, this is the Cog Railway Station. It looks exactly like this to this day. I'm thinking it was probably built about 110 years ago, and with all the gingerbread trim on it and everything, very old world, very gingerbread house, very like, you know, Switzerland or whatever. I know, I absolutely love it. And here is, we've taken the ride, I have done it, up the hill. It's more modern cars now that you go up the hill in, but anyway, it's still wonderful. It's a beautiful experience to have. I mean, you haven't done Colorado until you've gone up the hill like that. And of course, when you get up there, there is, I don't think that observation tower is still there with an American flag as the crowning touch, but it looks a little scary with all those people on it. But their view is this. Yes, indeed. I mean, this is where you can maybe see a few states, but I don't even think so. But this is, you are at the top there, and this is the view. I love the bus. The door is open. Come on back, you guys. We're going to go back down the hill. And those two train cars, you guys, are at the edge, and literally the little stopper. Somebody took a picture of the stopper I was going to show you, but I thought, no, we can't be here forever. The stopper there is like this tall. So if it accidentally went a little too fast, it would go off the edge. But anyway, we're not talking about off the edge. I was off the edge because my spirit was soaring. I did the trip. I cannot recommend it enough. I mean, it is an absolute must-do, must-see, must-experience thing to do, attraction. You know, it's like a ride at Disneyland. I mean, that's why I call all these shows like Land, like Coloradoland. I mean, it's like a theme park. There are so many attractions and experiences and moments to have that are honored by the layers of time and the legend of lore. I know, and more galore. Thank you. Summit Peak, Pikes Peak, 14,110 feet. I mean, it's like you're over the moon. You can't believe it. Also over the moon. The natural landscape, of course, in this country can be gorgeous, as we know, and Colorado is no exception. The Garden of the Gods. Where do we begin to behold the glory of those majestic, rocky peaks? Just peeking out there for your pleasure and mine. Don't you love the little car show in the parking lot there? It is a drive-through experience. As you drive through, you're like, there they are, there they are, there they are. Park and get out of the car, or just drive through if you're feeling a little lazy. This is the, I think this is Steamboat Rock. Yes, it is. It has to be. So you can walk up on top of a rock. How much do we love walking on top of rocks? I know. And it looks like the horses are going by. There's a Ford going by in mint green. Watch out for the peds, and behold the glory of, I mean, the signage does not quite look like this anymore, but it should. How much do you love a signpost that is mint green that matches the Ford station wagon driving by that says keep to the right, and then they had to put another sign there. Anyway, never mind that more modern sign. We do like that too, but Steamboat Rock, Balance Rock, and Manitou Springs. Yes, Manitou Springs, precious place, you guys. Outside of Colorado Springs, you got to go there. I actually drove through the Garden on the Gods on my way to see the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado, which is a masterpiece of mid-century modernity. Probably the most spectacular, giant-scale, mid-century modern campus on Earth at this point, at least in the United States. In 1963, Post and Beam, spectacular. Here we are again. Remember Mother in her coat by the ice skating rink? Well, yeah, her coat of black wool. And of course, she's so poised the way she's standing there. Very, very sure-footed, sure standing. And then Missy there pairs her medium wool coat with a knee sock. The world needs more knee socks, you guys. And her little girl pump there. And again, the black pant on Junior, the black pant, the white sock, the black shoe. Very smart with Mr. It's like the Mr. Rogers look, although I don't think Mr. Rogers wore a white sock like that. You could also do a red sock, you guys, which is very, very charming for people to enjoy and discover. But the cardigan, the black tie, the white shirt, I mean, on point. He's probably going to school there. They're probably, shopping for his school. And here is the pièce de résistance there at the U.S. Air Force Academy. This is the Cadet Chapel, and I guess we might as well get it out in the open. This is the greatest mid-century modern treasure that is the most unknown in the United States. This is an exquisite masterpiece, work of art, unlike any other structure in the known universe. It was completed in the year of 1963. It is currently undergoing a dramatic restoration because, it was leaking. Anyway, but look at the staircase leading up to it. I mean, just how big it is next to those cars. To me, it always looks like 17 jet fighters stacked on, standing up, stack, a row of jet fighters just stacked up there. Absolutely. Well, we might as well just say it. Hypnotizing, spellbinding, and mesmerizing. And did I say exquisite? In every design detail, a masterpiece unlike any other on the planet. And by the way, there is no church on earth done in the mid-century modernist style that even comes close to the pinnacle peaks of styling, design, and presence that this spectacular cadet chapel possesses. We might as well just say it. Here are a bunch of people on the ramp leading up to the inside there. I think it's graduation day and gives you a little closer look at the detail of the building there. And of course, one of the cadets there all dressed up in uniform. Can I wear that uniform or do I have to be a cadet or a graduate or whatever? I would wear that outfit. I love the yellow cummerbund there, the double-breasted jacket, and that hat. I know. How much do we love stuff like that? Yes, we do. Indeed, we do. Inside, you will see this. You walk in the door and whoosh. It's like you have been transported to the outer limits of the unknown universe of mid-century modernity in its most masterful example of exquisite space and place. Yes, you have. There it is now. That is the inside. I don't know how they got it to glow purple, royal, cobalt blue, but they did. And the stained glass, unfortunately, we're not seeing it all. It goes all the way up those windows there. You can get a better idea of what it's like. I mean, it's like, some places are just not that photographable because they're too spectacular, indeed, in every way, every day. And of course, I love the fact that where the leader, the speaker stands is non-denominational, I believe. It looks like one of those giant Ringer washing machines made of marble. I know. And then down there are some needlepoint pillows. You can get a little glimpse of the part of the stained glass there. And it has to be cobalt glass a row of cobalt glass that's giving it that blue glow inside. Anyway, the whole place you can't take a picture and capture it. You have to be there. But the day I was there, it was raining, and the legend is that it leaks. And yes, it was leaking. And that's why it's going under right now. It's in a big box. The whole thing has been boxed in, and they are fixing all the leaks. So if you went to Colorado right now, you wouldn't be able to see it. But anyway, the day I was there, as I said, it was raining. The rain passed. All of a sudden I went outside to, with respect, do one of these. And we are allowed to do that, aren't we? And there was a rainbow behind me. And it was very, very, very special. I mean, don't you love when you see a rainbow? You just wind up singing somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. This is not a land that you would hear of in a lullaby, but it is special. It is a mid-century modern masterpiece. The entire campus of the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And don't you love the jet fighter there? Yes, you do. I know you do. And there's the little mini version in a parade on the main street of Colorado Springs. I don't know if this is actually a parade or if this is the way this woman gets to work every day, or maybe she's a cadet chapel graduate. I'm not sure. She probably is. And anyway, yeah, probably. Congratulations, lovely young lady. You look amazing, so poised, so proper, so dignified, sitting on side saddle on a little, where's this? I mean, this little thing, it's somewhere. Nobody would have thrown this away. So that would be something to go after. Finding this little jet fighter somewhere in Colorado Springs. Who do you call? You know what? I'll report back to you. Sorry, I think I need to have another drink of water while you appreciate the beauty of those giant daisies, the Elite Barbershop, and Cook's Candy Cove. Ah, yes. The tour continues, Colorado Springs. This must be about 1962-ish. Yes, Elvis Presley's new movie, whatever it is in 1962, could be Blue Hawaii, or was that 63, is playing at the Chief Theater. Yes, the Chief Theater, I'm sorry to say, was bulldozed in the year of 1974. Down at the end of the street, the iconic legendary landmark Antlers Hotel, built in about 1909, bulldozed in 1964. And it was replaced with a nondescript hotel, unfortunately. Down on this side of the street, Eddie's Bar and Lounge Restaurant. Learner's Shops there, you can see on the right, the red handwriting. That is a ladies' dress shop and sportswear. And then parked down front, that is the 58 Cadillac. That is the same Cadillac my grandparents had in Coral. Yes, indeed. But we're not talking about my grandparents right now. We're talking about Ruth's Oven. Also in Colorado Springs, the tour continues. AAA and Duncan Hines approved. Before Duncan Hines was a cake mix, it was a restaurant rating guide. So Duncan Hines, and then somehow it became a cake mix. Life is full of surprises. Anyway, I love the giant hood front on it. I love those stand-out letters. Three-dimensional there. Ruth's Oven, the apostrophe floating up there. I mean, it is it's a masterful sign in every way, every day. Restaurant there, the scalloped edge, the egg crate window panes, and the 55 Chevy, the 54 Plymouth, and the 53 or 4 Ford sitting there out front. We're going inside. I love custom woven carpet, or at least pattern carpet, leafy, in a magenta and 2 tones of blue. Quite lovely, paired against the terracotta vinyl of those chairs. The brass tacks all the way around the backs, lovely around the seats as well. Dark stained walnut wood, and a beam across that very mid-century roof line. And of course, I don't know about you, but the other reason I wanted to show this slide to you, besides what we're about to get to, are rarely these days do you ever see anymore, but you used to see transparencies that are printed large and then backlit, like in a restaurant or whatever. They're amazing. And those are backlit transparencies of a Rocky Mountain High scene. But last but not least, let's have a study. Let's have a moment. Let's have a sorry, I thought someone was at my door. Let's have a moment for the beauty, the exquisite wonder of the glory of that spectacular, just outer space age light fixture in the middle of the room. It does not get any much more mid-century modern than that. That is gold anodized aluminum, and it is two. Well, it's actually, how many? It's like a burst and then a ring. I mean, it's so many things. How many are there? There's like 10. Or is it 8? I don't know. 10. I don't want to count. I don't want to know. I want it to remain a mystery. And so do you. Oh, you didn't want to go to Ruth's Oven. Well, Ruth's Oven closed in 1974, but this did not. This is King's Castle. This is in Colorado Springs to this day. It's been there since 1958, and it is the only castle prefab diner that the Valentine Diner Company ever made, and thankfully it remains. This is a prefab treasure of the absolute highest order, and it's still going, and you can tell I was very happy to be there. Very happy to be there. That's one of the Pendletons that has moth holes in it. So if you ever see me wearing that Pendleton, you look closely, you're going to see little moth holes. Speaking of castles, with castles you have fairy tales. Is Snow White a fairy tale? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I don't think it is. It's a story. So I'm driving down the street in Colorado Springs, you guys. All of a sudden, pull the car over for this. Giant scale. You can see the scale. Yeah, I did not get shrunk for this photo, but it looks like I did. It looks like I'm about 3 feet tall, 2 feet tall. Gigantic letters on the side of the Snow White Dry Cleaning Company. I mean, and just everything about the font, the script of optimism. These are steel case letters, and I dread the day they come down off the building, but when they do, they will go into a museum because they are art. They are perfect. And the crowning touch, of course, is that star above as a dot on the eye. I mean, the mood is up and the standard of living is flying high at the North Pole, home of Santa's workshop. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, built in the year of 1956 in the mountains above Colorado Springs and Manitou Springs. We're kind of around that area in this part of the show. Anyway, yes, this drive-through you have arrived is still there to this day. And this park was styled after another park, the North Pole in New York, which is also still there. Here is the entrance there, well, because it says entrance. And the official greeter, of course, Santa Claus himself. And to get a view on the inside, this is what it looks like. This is what it still looks like. We are at the North Pole. This is the there. And as you can see here, these pictures taken just a couple of years after the park opened in 1956. You see Santa Claus there with his cast of characters. On the right, you see Little Bo Peep. I mean, you got, Alice in Wonderland there. You've got Peter Pan. And then there's another Bo Peep over there in the pink. And then I don't know who that little cowgirl is there holding on her little cowboy hat up front, but she wants to be the star of the show. Anyway, we could go on and on about the little girls dressed alike there in their turquoise pedal pushers with their bobby socks and little red shoes. Absolutely. The whole thing. The whole scene. As I said, it is still there. I believe it is in perfect condition, by the way. I weep to tell you it's in perfect condition. This is, I believe, the only Christmas tree in the world that you can actually ride an ornament around. Yeah, you ride ornaments. You see them right there. This is a vintage shot of Buy Now, Ship Later, North Pole, Colorado. This is the post office there. I don't know about you, but I could get lost in this photo for a very long time, pointing out all the details. This is where you can mail a letter, and it will be stamped North Pole, Colorado, and still to this day, because, this is the post office back then. And again, the detail of these buildings is absolutely just precious. And just the whimsy of it all, the log cabininess of it all, the happiness of it all, the legend of it all, the landmark of it all, the story of it all. And we have to thank this man, Mr. Tom Haggard, for he maintains the park to this very day in pristine condition. His family opened the park in 1956. He might have been 5 years old or something. I just want to say thank you, Mr. Haggard. The North Pole is absolutely one of my favorite places ever of all time. And yes, the North Pole is still there. They've added some things here and there, but overall the park is very original. and you can still see Santa Claus there. And I don't know about this little elf though. Obviously a modern edition. Begs the question, how could something so right be so wrong? And something so wrong be so right? I know, and his little penguin friend there. Love it. Anyway, outside is the sign in the parking lot, and before I left, I had to strike a pose just like Santa up there, and this gives you a better idea of what it's like. I mean, there's a Ferris wheel and a little roller coaster and a few other rides, a train ride, of course, a gift shop, crafts, magic, and rides, it says there, and fun for the entire family, and a feast for the senses, because this place is time-honored and homespun and family run. These are the kind of places that are special and unique, and you need to go. Speaking of you need to go, okay, Lakeside Amusement Park. We are there in Denver. It's unphotographable. I've got quite a few photos that I'm going to show of. This is a 1908 amusement park, and it is still there. It is lost kind of in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. You're going to see in 60s. It's my favorite place ever of all time. It's unphotographable, you guys. Just to give you an idea of what a time capsule it is, this is on the side of the big tower there. This is probably from the late 30s or 40s, the case. Notice it says there's a little heart on its side for the dot on the eye. Precious enough already. This vintage signage is very 1950s. Still there, still in the case. Okay, again, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to say it again, but I could say it over and over. Lakeside Amusement Park in Denver. It's about to open for the season again. It opens in May. This will be its 115th year, I think. 115th year. And the tower is the original tower there. It was, it was the tower. It was the Tower of Lights. Of course, it was the beacon. You'd ride the trolley all the way out from town to go to this place. It was a beer garden. That's how most of these vintage amusement parks started. But anyway, it's not really photographable because it's too amazing. The camera just can't do it. Plus, when I was there, these pictures were taken a few years ago, probably 12 years ago. And the owner of the park was running around saying, no pictures, please, no pictures, please. She didn't want people taking pictures. Now, of course, the cat's out of the bag. Everyone has a phone in their hand. But anyway, so I snuck these pictures. But it is a time capsule, you guys. It is my favorite time warp I've ever been. Look at how it says Ferris wheel there, the hurricane ride, the color, the Ferris wheel. Look at the signage there. Again, the camera, I had to sneak the camera fast. Ferris wheel, look at that's neon. The hurricane, look at that. That is streamlined modern, you guys. It is still there. This has probably been there since the late 1930s. Look at the color on that tiltoplane ride. I wish we could see everything. You can see everything. You can go there. Look at the ticket booth at Scuda Boats. Scuda Boats. It kind of has almost a bit of a German aesthetic in its kind of style guide. And they kept adding stuff in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. So I'm not exactly sure what year this is. But again, it's kind of streamlined modern meets modern meets mid-century. A lot of neon, a lot of fun signage. This guy was probably added in the 70s. But, don't we love stuff like that? Look at Auto Scooter, you guys. This is the bumper cars Auto Scooter. Written out in giant block letters that are as tall as your tall cousin. I know. It's just too much for words. When you're there, you cannot believe it. You're living in a wonderland of, there's Auto Scooter at a distance. Up front here, you can see a little kind of a streamlined building. Again, I was sneaking these photos. Didn't mean any disrespect, but it's I knew I had to document this place. There's a train that goes around the lake all the way. That's the train station right there. And it's kind of leaning. The place is old. It's in kind of what I call an arrested state of decay. But not in a bad way. How do you keep up with a place like this? Look at the housing for the merry-go-round. The merry-go-round has been there since 1908, but the housing, I don't know what year this is, probably 38 or 39 or whatever. Neon everywhere, merry-go-round, spectacular signage, ticket booths. There it is, a little close-up for you. It is just, it's colorful, it's electrifying is what it is. And no shortage of the love for the love of color, for the love of hand-done things, one-of-a-kind things. Very little of this stuff is out of a box, you guys. This is a Louvre carousel. It has, as I said, been there since 1908. It is still going. I love Humpty Dumpty. It was my mood when I was there. It's you're like, like you're just being pulled in to this vortex of a time capsule that you absolutely cannot believe. Roller coaster alert. Yeah, the Cyclone roller coaster. How's that for a little streamlined, modern / Art Deco glory? I know. I mean, we could go on and on and on. I mean, we need to all get on a jet plane and go to Denver. I think I'm going to organize a tour soon. I'm serious. Again, more signage, vintage signage, probably from the 60s, or maybe someone did this in the early 70s or whatever that was working in the 50s, because this is definitely 50s style. And I love the word Zoom actually has gold glitter glued on the letters. I mean, with an exclamation point, a little action drunk. I mean, where do we begin? Look at this ticket booth. The white neon stripes got a little blown out. I'm sorry, but you just had to see this ticket booth. Look at that shape. Look at that style. One of a kind. There's not another one on the planet. Wild Chipmunk Ride. Again, the signage all over the place is out of this world. Scrambler. That's what I call up and down drunkenness. Look at this sports car signage. I mean, this is all vintage. 1950s, about a lot of it's mid-century. The Spider, this might be a little later, but don't you love a spider in neon? Rock-O-Plane. Yes, quite spectacular in every way. There it says at Rock-O-Plane, a backlit plastic sign. Go this way, go that way for the satellite. There it is, satellite. Those letters were like glittering like this, like Las Vegas. Again, every font is different, or typeface, whatever you want to call it. This is all hand done, one of a kind. You can actually see the lake there, you guys. Here's another view of the lake. It is, as I said, Lakeside Amusement Park. Okay, I'll calm down. Lakeside Amusement Park. I think I've only been there 3 times. But I need to go there 300 more times. So yeah, these rocket jets, they are vintage. They are from the 60s. There's a couple of the arms that are actually missing the rocket. I didn't ask questions. I just beheld the glory of how special and unique this place is. The college. What does it say? Does it say grill? Anyway, look at this. Look at that Mondrian like painting up there. And just the backlit, the lighting wrapping around there, the stand-up letters. I mean, this place is a treasure trove. Lakeside Amusement Park. I went there for the first time with my friend Monty, who owns a garage door company. Yeah, garage door company owner Monty, and his friend Barbara Bunky, who's lovely. And of course, there I am. And the little lady, well, she's very petite, but she's a big woman. Her name is Rhoda Krasner. She is the owner. Her dad bought the park in the late 1930s. She owns the park, runs the park with her daughter. And when I first went there and I said, I'd like to sit down and talk to you. And I got there and she was sitting down. She sat down and was like, what is it that you want? And so she thought that she didn't know who I was. She thought that I was gonna just say, why is this park so run down or whatever? Because people have said that. It's old and it's a lot to keep up with. It is not pristine, but it's the most special place I've ever been. I will put it that way. It's my favorite place. Anyway, she said, oh, I thought you were going to tell me that I need to upkeep it better. It's just like, it's a lot to keep up with. I'm like, no, I'm here to say that Lakeside Amusement Park is a world-class national treasure. It's a living museum of an amusement park lost in 1908, there are layers of time, mostly 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, there's a little 70s, maybe one or two 80s things or whatever. You only saw the tip of the iceberg. At the end of the night, she's like, you know what? You have really made my night. I'm going to make you the biggest funnel cake I've ever made. And then she's like, well, actually, I've never made a funnel cake before. She went in there and grabbed the funnel, politely got the funnel cake, big pitcher of funnel cake batter out of the thing. And she stood there and was like, this how you do it? This how you do it? And the kid standing there was like, yeah. And she said, this is the biggest funnel cake we've ever served. So, you know what? It really does pay to go talk to the people and tell them how much you appreciate. Bring your friends there, tell people about it. And there is the Tower of Jewels as it was. Some of the lights are out, of course, since it's from 1908, you guys. And if you were from 1908, some of your lights would be out too. But anyway, it's so spectacular. It is so spectacular. And we are now at our grand finale. I didn't turn off the sound here. How much do we all love the entrance, the tower that marks the entrance of Casa Bonita in Denver, you guys. The world's kitschiest restaurant, serving since 1974. You have arrived at Casa Bonita, you guys. Have you ever been to Casa Bonita? Casa Bonita, yes, the world's kitschiest restaurant. And it got closed at the beginning of the pandemic. It's in a legendary place in Denver. And anyway, I have been there several times. Every time I go to Denver, I have to go there, of course. I was devastated to hear that it had closed. What makes this place so special, it is unique in all the world. We sincerely believe that you will understand after seeing daring cliff divers, hilarious puppet show, dancing monkeys, an amazing magician, exciting gunfight, strolling musicians, and there's so much more, you guys. Basically what it is it's hard to explain. It's impossible to photograph. It's like, basically it's about 10 different themed dining rooms arranged on 2 floors in a horseshoe pattern overlooking the central focal point, which is a 3-story cliff diving pond. So there's like cliff divers there while you're eating, and it's just too much for the brain to comprehend, and cameras cannot touch it. So when I went there to Denver and they're like, oh, we have to go to Casa Bonita, we're going. They said, the food is terrible, the food is terrible, the food is terrible. I said, I don't care if the food is terrible. I am from California. I've had all kinds of Mexican food in every form, in every format, in every way, and I love it all because it's all delicious. So this was the plate of food I got. And of course, I mean, it was fine. Cheese sauce on the cheese enchilada, mystery meat in the meat enchilada. I love the cheese, the rice and everything. Oh, the refried beans, that taco over there that got a little extra meat on it, and a little julienne of iceberg lettuce there, and a little smudge on the top side of the plate there, 1 or 2 rice grains trying to escape. And of course, I love the salt shaker that passed out over it all. Anyway, I don't know if it's all you can eat. I think it is, but you get too carried away and busy looking around. Okay, you cannot take a photo of the place inside, you guys. You barely get the idea here that you're looking from behind a waterfall at the focal point. You're looking out into the restaurant, which is not, you can't see. But anyway, as I said, there's about 8 themed dining rooms, and then there's other areas and other dining rooms. The stalactite room, the western room, the Amazon jungle room. We actually, the first time I was there, ate in the Cinderella room. I don't know why. I guess that's kind of where they sat us. But I mean, there's no bad spot in the whole house. And anyway, I was sitting there and I was like, you know, it all reminds me of, I mean, it's like the restaurant that had a baby with a theme park is what it is. No other place like it on the planet. I will tell you, this is, oh, there's someone, one of the cliff divers had just dived in, and, you know, people gather around, and there's like kind of tiki style seating around the cliff diving pool. I mean, it's just, you can't explain it. And then when you're done eating, when you're done eating, you raise a flag at your table, a little red flag, and they bring sopapillas, you guys, which are deep fried dough pockets. Deep fried dough pockets. I mean, it's like, give me one thing to eat for the rest of my life. It would be deep fried dough pockets with honey. I mean, it's so good. You open them up and they're like a big like steam poof comes out and like, you know, gives you a facial. It's just heaven. They are so good. And then out comes the honey and you're like kind of burning your fingers the whole time, and then you eat them, and then you eat more and you raise the flag again. They bring you more, and then you walk around and you're like in kind of like a Casa Bonita, like haze or whatever days. And there's like a tunnel, the big tunnel area to walk through, like kind of this haunted housey area. And then there's a walk-through monster. Where, I mean, like a walk-through dragon creature. Where do you get to do that? I am proud to tell you that after 3 years of being closed, Casa Bonita, which was made legendary and world famous from Beavis and Butthead. South Park. South Park? Wait, South Park. Sorry. I could have said SpongeBob. I know, because they're all around the same era. South Park, the guys who created South Park are from Denver, I guess, and they loved going there as a child. They spoofed it on the show. It became world famous. That was probably like 10 years ago-ish, maybe. Well, as I said, at the beginning of the pandemic, Casa Bonita closed. No one knew it was going to come back, and they stepped in and said, we will bring this place back. Well, as it were, to bring it back was a lot bigger of a task than they ever imagined. They're upping the food, they're upping the whole thing. I don't know what they're going to do. It's a big mystery. Nobody knows yet. But it is going to open probably in May of this year, 2023. And I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to need to get on a plane and figure out a way to get in that door because it is going to be jammed forever until the end of time. So Casa Bonita, Denver, Lakeside Amusement, the rest of Coloradoland, every other place we visited, and to you all, I want to say thank you so much for joining me yet again for one of my big retro slideshow extravaganzas. I really appreciate your support because with that, I'm able to continue to do more. And, you let me do what I love doing, and I want to do it more and more galore. So with that said, behold the glory of Coloradoland. You are now leaving colorful Colorado. By the way, just one more thing. This is, I don't know if you've seen my big retro Disneyland slideshow. You can get it on demand on my website as you can on my other ones. But this is the little young lady that is throughout the Disneyland show, and I call her Daddy Longlegs. Anyway, there she is. I know life is full of surprises. Most of them are wonderful. And you are wonderful. Thank you again for joining me. Bye, you guys.